Hi, St. Mark Sunday School class, 3rd through 5th graders. It's Mrs. Wild, and I've missed seeing you all. But even though we can't be together, we can all talk to God through prayer, and we know that God has a plan for us, and He's going to keep us safe. I get to read our Bible story for this week, so I'm so excited, and I'm going to try to get my kids to help me. The name of our story is called Jesus' Ministry Begins, and a ministry is just the work that a religious person does. So it's the beginning of, this tells the story of Jesus' beginning of his work on earth.
Our Bible story is called A Heavenly Voice. Just like all the other babies in the world, baby Jesus grew up. He played in the streets of Nazareth with neighborhood boys and girls. He had brothers and sisters and learned how to get along with them. He watched Joseph in his workshop and became a carpenter just like his father. On the outside, he was like all the other Jewish boys in the village, but on the inside, he was very different. He was God's son. When Jesus was a grown man, he traveled to the Jordan River where his cousin John was teaching and baptizing people. John's strange appearance and important message were the talk of the countryside. Be baptized and turn your hearts to God, John would preach, and many would listen and obey.
The banks of the river were covered with John's listeners when Jesus joined them. Jesus made his way through the crowd. He walked to the shore of the river. He stepped into the deep blue waters of the Jordan and muddied his toes in the salty riverbed.
Jesus asked John to baptize him. John protested, "No, you should baptize me." Jesus put his hand on John's shoulder and calmly replied, "It's okay. It is good for us to do this." So there in the Jordan River, John baptized Jesus, while all the other men and women watched from the shore.
While Jesus stood in the water, he began to pray. The heavens opened up. The Spirit of God came floating down like a dove and rested on Jesus' shoulder. Then a voice from heaven boomed through the countryside. "This is my son whom I love. I'm very pleased with him." God spoke. He called Jesus his son. Now the people knew what God had known all along. This carpenter from Nazareth was very, very special.
Okay, I'm going to end our story with the lesson that we're supposed to take from it. This is entitled God's Message. On this day, the ordinary ends and the spectacular begins. Go tell my people, I have remembered my promise. Tell them the Messiah is here. The son of a carpenter in Nazareth is the Son of God Almighty, the creator of the world. You guys probably remember that we usually start off our Bible story by reading some Bible verses, verses where the story comes from. And so this is one of my kids' Bibles, and I wanted you guys, for people who want to do a little extra work, our Bible story today came from these passages in the New Testament of the Bible, and check them out. Matthew 3, verses 13 to 17, Mark chapter 1, verses 9 through 11, and Luke chapter 3, verses 21 to 22. So check these out. The incredible thing is, these all tell the story of Jesus' baptism. And it's just such an important story because that began Jesus' ministry.